Why did India's world-class bowling fail in Adelaide? Chapter 1. Failure to exploit the pink ball. The pink ball, known for its exaggerated swing and seam movement under lights, offered conditions that should have played into the hands of India's bowlers. However, they failed to capitalize. Indian bowlers alternated between being too short and too full, allowing Australian batsmen like Travis Head to settle and counter-attack. Bowlers, particularly Mohammad Siraj, leaned heavily on the short-pitched strategy, which became predictable and ineffective as the Australians adjusted. Bowling with the pink ball requires precision, especially in the twilight phase where movement is at its peak. India's inability to adjust their lines and lengths to leverage these conditions was a significant factor in their underperformance. Chapter 2. Lack of penetration in key moments. India's pace attack started promisingly, with early breakthroughs on day 1. However, they couldn't maintain pressure. Despite reducing Australia to 3 for 50, India let Head off the hook, allowing him to score a counter-attacking 140. Defensive field placements and erratic bowling gave Head the freedom to dominate. The bowlers failed to make an impact with the second new ball, a phase where Cummins and Stark later proved devastating. The inability to clean up the Australian tail has been a recurring issue for India. In this match, Pat Cummins and Mitchell Stark added valuable runs, further widening the gap between the teams. Chapter 3. Selection issues and resource mismanagement. India's bowling unit in Adelaide lacked balance. Jadeja's ability to provide control, both as a bowler and a batter, would have added much-needed variety and reduced the load on the pacers. The decision to field Harshit Rana, who lacked the experience and skill set to exploit Adelaide's conditions, backfired. He struggled to maintain consistency, leaking runs without creating pressure. Despite being India's most experienced bowler, Bumrah bowled only 1 over in the second innings. His reduced workload under lights, where he could have been most effective, raised eyebrows. While Siraj is a capable bowler, he was overburdened and lacked the support to complement his efforts. Chapter 4. Execution and mental approach. The hallmark of India's bowling success has been their discipline, which was noticeably absent in Adelaide. Indian bowlers bowled too many deliveries outside the off-stump, allowing batsmen to leave comfortably. Overpitched deliveries and half-trackers gave Australian batters easy scoring opportunities. India's dominance in Perth may have contributed to a lapse in intensity. The bowlers lacked the sharpness and aggression that characterized their earlier performances. Chapter 5. Tactical failures and leadership gaps. Rohit Sharma's captaincy compounded India's bowling woes. Defensive field placements. When Travis Head began counter-attacking, Sharma persisted with conventional field placements instead of plugging scoring areas. Delayed bowling changes. Timely changes in bowling could have disrupted the Australian batsman's rhythm, but Sharma often delayed adjustments. Bowling success often depends on coordinated efforts, but India's bowlers operated in silos. There seemed to be little synergy between pacers and spinners, and their plans appeared disjointed. Chapter 6. Australia's masterful counter-attack. Australia's batters, particularly Travis Head and Marnus Labuschagne, identified and exploited India's erratic lines and lengths. Head's aggression. By attacking India's bowlers early, Head forced them to alter their lengths, creating opportunities to score freely. Tailenders' contributions. Cummins and Stark's counter-attacks demoralized the Indian bowlers, who seemed unprepared for resistance from the lower order. Australian bowlers later demonstrated how to bowl effectively under lights, exposing India's failure to replicate such precision. Chapter 7. Lessons and the way forward. India must invest in domestic pink ball tournaments and preparatory matches to familiarize their bowlers with the unique challenges of day-night cricket. Greater use of variations. Indian bowlers need to diversify their tactics, employing slower balls, yorkers, and bouncers more strategically. Field placement innovations. Defensive field placements should give way to aggressive wicket-taking setups, particularly when new batters arrive at the crease. India's team management must prioritize form and suitability for conditions over seniority or reputation. Balanced 11, including bowlers like Jadeja, who can control the run rate and contribute with the bat, is essential. Rotating pace options, Prasidh Krishna and Akash Deep could be explored to provide fresh energy and perspective. India's bowling failure in Adelaide stemmed from a combination of strategic errors, execution lapses, and poor team management. While the conditions favoured bowlers, India's inability to adapt, coupled with defensive captaincy and questionable team selection, proved costly. Moving forward, India must reassess their approach to pink ball cricket, prioritise discipline and adaptability, and embrace a more ruthless mindset in selection and tactics. Only then can they regain their dominance and restore the faith of fans in their world-class bowling attack.